Hey guys, how's it going? This is Feedbot IRL, my second channel, which is used for, I guess, critiques and improvements to make Hearts of Iron 4 overall a better game by talking to you, the viewers, and maybe spreading some of this information to Paradox and maybe making overall a better game experience. You can see I have members-only videos now, so I use this as an opportunity to promote my members videos, which you can join and become a member of on the main channel. I'll provide a link in the description. And it is exclusive to today, going to be talking about Free France. Hey, I'm Feedbot Gaming, and I play games in unconventional ways, like the German France. Oh, no, that wasn't a joke. We are going to be playing as German-occupied France today. Yes, German-occupied France, and this is what it looks like. So specifically, you would tend to lose. And you're probably thinking, why would you want to do that? Well, this is an intended playstyle, because Paradox have actually built in mechanics into the game to where you have a focus tree as France if you are taken over. Of course, you never really want to do that in a normal Hoi 4 game, but if that's an intended mechanic, I won't mind playing that said way. So in this circumstance, I actively moved all my divisions to Africa in the video, and then I let Germany and Italy annex me completely. So once again, the intent of this video is to try and play a different style that is intended by the devs, because governments in exile is an actual mechanic. Look, see this button here? Exiled governments. This is an actual playstyle. Paradox actually thought this would be fun. No, actually, no, totally, honestly. After playing this, it actually is really fun, and I would really recommend it. However, there are a few little issues that could be tweaked and improved upon to make it overall better experience, and that's why I'm making this video today. Oh no, Paris. Don't take Paris, please. Boom. There you go. That is the end of France. Maybe. By the way, I've got rid of disjointed government, so I'm taking a little longer than usual to annex. But we're at 80% now. Alright, let's talk about some of the issues. So first of all, this is a fun playstyle. It is really, really fun. And you can game these mechanics slightly to make it more enjoyable, which I'll talk about later. But overall, this is a really fun playstyle, and I really would recommend it. Check out the video, look at the details of it, and if you do it and play my style, it is the most amount of fun. You can actually be an actual proper rival against Germany. And one of the reasons why playing in exile is fun for France, exclusively France, and not some of the other exiled nations such as Poland or Norway, is you've got a really big navy. And the beauty of navy is you do lose half of it when Vichy France spawns, but overall you've still got a substantial fleet that can have a meaningful impact against Italy and Germany and actually carry the war and actually feel like you're doing something. So one of the issues with being in exile a lot of the time is just kind of hanging around, floating around. You're not really actually making an impact. But luckily as France, you can. Let's talk about the cons. So first of all, I'm going to wait for me to be annexed. Vichy France will appear at any moment. Vichy. 98, 100. And here we go. So here, you've got the ability to select what you want to do. And the fight goes on is the option to do this. Boom, you've got a free France flag. Charles de Gaulle is leading you, and that's right, you have a new focus tree. You know what, I bet a lot of you guys didn't even know this focus tree even exists, right? It's a mini focus tree. It's got some cool little stuff going on. On the left here is resistance. In the center is about kind of getting your colonies back, and on the right is about kind of like yoinking resources if you need it, which I think is all really cool because you've got the choice to go down which specific path you think is more relevant to you. It'd be kind of cool if some of these paths interweaved with each one another. Like for instance, maybe the resistance path also gave you some guns as well, and then maybe also the intervention, maybe spawn divisions as well. Honestly, this focus tree is actually banging, specifically due to this one. French forces of the interior. Now what's really OP about this is whenever you capture territory that you previously owned, 3 divisions will spawn. They'll be highly trained. They're kind of small, but you can modify them to what you need to do. And if you just want the manpower, you can always just delete them. And that takes part in all of the colonies of Africa and also retaking France. So my advice to you is you kind of really want to rush this one, even though these ones kind of give you a lot of land back. So you kind of push both ways, I suppose. You're kind of teased by this an amazing focus, but then also kind of you want land to actually do something. As you've noticed, now I'm in exile. Do you actually know where France is? You can find, press F, type France, free France. There you go, the top option. And that's right, I'm in the Pacific. They've actually put me in the Pacific. And there's my capital city. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it, but that's it. And this is the biggest problem with this focus tree. See this? I've run out of convoys because convoys are having to be moved and shipped around the world, and distance plays a part in how many convoys actually get needed. So the truth is, I'm exiled to London. So surely my capital should be London as well. Why would it be an overseas territory of this land? Now, this is not how it originally used to work, but maybe some kind of DLCs and patches have broken this. But right now, this is not convenient. To be fair, for this to work and to be work as it should be, even though the capital's here, everything's going to this island. For some reason, these are all considered the same state. Oh, they are. They are considered the same state. Yeah, the way it used to work is it would go from the exiled government's capital. And this actually might be bugged as well. I'm just going to cheat this in. So instant training. Train immediately. And you can deploy in your capital. But can you see the problem here? I'm going to spawn these in the Pacific. But surely I should be spawning them in Europe, in London, to continue the fight. See, this is not how it originally used to work. You used to be able to spawn in the exiled capital that you are currently based in. But for some strange reason, you can't in this instance. Which, again, is I feel like is another DLC or patch that's broken that said feature. Once again, exiled government were in Together for Victory. And we're 2017, I believe. It might be 2016. So they're almost 7, 8 years old. So it was a long time ago. Another issue with this path is to actually take advantage of it and actually play it, you've kind of got to exploit. It's not fun. But this is what I did here. I basically sold everything on the market and put everything on the market to be sold. Then I pulled it off the market and then I get access to all my equipment. And that's how I kind of gamed the system. And I also put my best divisions based into North Africa. So therefore they won't get destroyed in Germany. I still lost half of them because they were given to Vichy, which is kind of frustrating, I suppose. It'd be nice if you had some control over what divisions you lost, and also half your navy was given to Vichy as well, which is working as intended, if you probably already know the history of Free France. Another issue too is I exploit the manpower. Look, I've got no manpower, but no, actually what I actually did there was put all the manpower into horses. So for me to actually use this focus tree, I had to game the equipment and I had to game the manpower, because there's no way of accessing those two essential resources as Free France. And you do get a little bit of equipment on this right side here by off-map military factories, and convoys is very useful too. But for the downside, you just don't really get access to any other resources. Let's just rush towards colonial recruitment and just see how much manpower it gives me. That gave me... I think it might have gone up by about 20k, but once again, 20k is not really enough to make a single division, is it? Single division? Okay, you can probably get 2 divisions out of that. 2 and a bit, I suppose. So once again, it's not really enough manpower to actually use. And you find the government and exile mechanics here really don't help you out. However, you are locked behind some of these focus based on legitimacy. Can you see that 40% legitimacy? So to progress down the left path here and build resistance and reduce compliance in Free France to be a thorn in the side of Germany, you need legitimacy. And the easiest way of getting legitimacy is basically press this button. It costs political power and it builds legitimacy over time. It's easy, but it's not the most effective. If you want the most effective method, is you basically join the fight. And whenever you are fighting the war, which I'll show you now, you gain an insane amount of legitimacy. This actually might be bugged. So we're at 22 right now and we're attacking. We're just going to watch this number go up. 24, 25, 27, 28. I love how easy it is to make this number go up. 31. So you kind of get the idea, right? So with legitimacy, then you reach a certain point that you've got enough of it because you've fought enough to actually unlock that focus. We literally unlocked that within the duration of this video. Is that too high? I don't actually know, but legitimacy doesn't really give you much in this game. It'd be kind of nice if legitimacy unlocked more decisions that you could click, and that would give you the options for more stuff, which is the case for, I believe, Norway in exile, but no other countries get access to them. It'd be kind of cool if legitimacy gave you more. It feels like it gives more to the host country than it gives to the country that you've currently got. Once again, these mechanics of exile are so unbelievably old. It's not a surprise that some of them just don't function the way you would originally tend. Another issue you've run into is when you click on these ones, there is basically a percentage chance if they're going to be handed back to you. So we're going to get the pop-ups now by clicking on that. There you go. So Syria remains with Vichy. We have no control over that. Last game I actually got Vichy back. And we got to get another pop-up now. There you go. Central Africa stays with Vichy. I get very unlucky. West Africa stays with Vichy. This is just a random dice roll, by the way. Madagascar switches sides. Yay! The area with 2 factories, so I can't really build in that. Any others are going to switch to me? North Africa remains with Vichy. North Africa historically will always remain with Vichy, even though technically in this circumstance it's actually with Germany. Is that everything? Now you can go for these focuses, which have a chance to flip to you. Which, where are they? They're down here. So here we go. So if you look really closely, what you can do here is spend political power, and you have basically a chance for it to flip to you. And you promise them independence, and at the end of the war, they'll gain loads of resistance when the war ends, and then potentially they can gain their independence from you. But it's a 20% chance you can basically take it from them. Once again, dice rolls don't really work very well in Hoi 4. And it's kind of that most people, even in multiplayer, tend to avoid them because, once again, it's just that chance of like, will I get this or will I not get this? I don't know. There is an interesting mechanic with the invasion mechanic. So I'll press the invasion, and it causes a border conflict to fire. And the UK, I mean, we already know border conflicts are weird anyway. But as you can see now, the Britons... So this is what makes it really bizarre. This border conflict is between Vichy France and Britain. So you don't have any control over it anyway. But neither does the AI, because these divisions are randomly assigned next to them. And all of a sudden, we've got control of Vichy France. This is a cool mechanic. Okay? I said Syria. I said Vichy France. Well, we do have Vichy France. Vichy France, Syria. We have Syria again. This is really cool that this exists and it has the ability. But once again, border conflicts are so unbelievably random. Once again, just roll the dice. I don't know if it's going to work. We're doing invasion of Central Africa. We got it immediately because there was no troops nearby, so we just got it straight away. This is the best way of getting it, by the way. We got another border conflict. What do we go for? Oh, it's this one here. And once again, Vichy French troops are not very good, and the British ones just demolished them. So we got West Africa back. And listen, I like this exists, but man, it's so random rolling of the dice. The truth behind it is, Britain might not have any troops stationed here, so the border conflict will be won by Vichy France. But me, as the French player, have no control of these mechanics other than the time I can get to press this button. There is also another way of getting land back as well, which, by the way, I'll give a little setup to let you know what happened is I built civilian factories here. That's why I've got so many civilian factories, 13 to use, because I built them all in Syria and West and Central Africa, and I bought loads of mills, built loads of mills inside of North Africa. You can't invade North Africa, though, to do a border conflict. You actually have to physically take it. See if we can do an invasion of Indochina as well. Here we are. Oh, and they held it. So once again, you have no control of this. It's just random rolls of the dice. The British Raj wasn't strong enough, and Vichy France held it, so you don't get control of that anyway. I did build a few factories in Indochina, but never mind. End of the day. Anyway, another way of getting it is preparing a coup. So we can prepare a coup in North Africa, and we can drop our agents into that region, which who owns North Africa is the very good question. Is it Italy or is it Germany? I don't even know. Split between the two. And I believe the way this is meant to work is it has an operation that you can launch a coup in that said region. But of course, since La Resistance, the operations mechanics have been a bit flaky, so I don't rely on those too heavily. Let's just hit all these buttons and just see if we can make anything happen. Once again, there was a 10% chance for each of those lands to be handed back to me. Will I get the event for that? No. No, there isn't, so that's not going to fire anyway. As you can probably see, these legacy mechanics are obviously a little bit flaky, but it's kind of cool that you can play with this style and have some luck, even though obviously the amount of play style here is a little bit limited due to having to set up the dice here by building in set locations you're going to be handed the land, and also lots of RNG mechanics, which, as you probably know from my channel, I'm not a big fan of anyway. So if I was to, so let's work on how could we make this better. There needs to be more certainty over these focuses. You know, like this is certainly will give you this land, and maybe you spend a healthy amount of political power or guns in these said regions to definitely give you this territory. I suppose in a multiplayer element, I suppose you wouldn't have a lot of control over that because the player could just say no, which is always a possibility. Also, it could be easy to get access to these convoys too, because you can see convoys are a big issue for France. But look, I don't have an issue with convoys now, probably because I've got access to Syria and Central and West Africa. Oh, I've got access to Free France as well now. He said I didn't have access to that. suddenly I've been giving it back? Maybe that was the independence one. Oh, it was. Okay. So I promised them independence, and that is the reason why I've got it back now. The game didn't give me a pop-up to let me know that, though. Is there a newspaper article for that? No, there wasn't. I had no idea that was going to happen. As you can see, these mechanics are so unbelievably old. You just don't even know what's going to happen. It's like, is this going to be in my favor or not? I don't know. And the final one is the exploits one. So, guys, if you want to check out my main channel video here, I will leave a link below and you get to watch it. It's a fantastic video, by the way. I show you how to play a Free France, and it's actually a playable Free France, and it's a really refreshing play style to play as it. Anyway, the link is in the description. I love you. Goodbye.